One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
You know, just like the freaking song says, day by day, except for Sundays, you know what I mean? We do have to have our Sunday off. But hey, welcome back, everybody. You know what I mean? Happy Monday to everyone. I know it's, a lot of people on Mondays, they don't really look forward to Monday. Monday blues and stuff. I understand. But hey, we're here to make it a little bit better for everyone, man. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic Monday morning. Hopefully everyone slept good and had a fantastic weekend as well, man. Listen, we got a lot to kind of go over today, so I'm going to try my absolute best to kind of I'm not going to rush myself here, but I'm also going to kind of be doing this in a hurry. We got a lot to get over. As Monday morning is a big news day. That's usually what it is. So we got President Trump back in DC. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, as well as Ukraine to hold U.S. mediated talks, as well as Israel latest. We're about to get into all of the craziness. We have some press conferences to go over. We have a little, and they're not too long. Thank God. The press conferences, usually those are the ones that just kill me. I'm like, and hearings. I hate hearings, but listen, we do what we got to do around here, but luckily today they're short fairly anyways. But before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the number one metric of all of YouTube, and it's free to do so, by the way. What else is free? Hitting that subscribe button. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, man. Well, actually, let me go ahead and do this in order here. Please consider becoming a member, man, starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not going to be breaking no bank out here or wallets. Listen, man, if you guys can help out this way right here, this is the number one way that we don't have to cater to views over here. You know what I mean? That we're very blessed with the Breakfast Club. You guys in the Breakfast Club, you guys allowed this very show to happen. So I very much appreciate it. But listen, man, if it does break the bank, don't worry about it. But this is how we do it around these parts. Follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the show, as well as Millennial Food Time. This is like better than my phone number, so make sure you guys hit me up over there. And we have gotten extremely active on the Discord. Naomi is dropping the link every so often to have you guys invited into the Discord. Make sure you guys hang out with us over there. Because I really do think that it is a great place for all of us to hang out and continue the conversation after the show, and so much more than that as well. It allows you guys to be able to stay in contact, or emergency, you can contact somebody from the Breakfast Club, because we're like a freaking family in here, man. So it's not even like it is a family. Just got to say that, by the way. Also, last but not least, every super sticker, gifted membership, gifted membership signups, all these things are going to be shouted out. So don't worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We go ahead and shout out all the fun stuff like that. But if you guys would like to help out the show monetarily, We have, and skip that brutal 30% YouTube cut, by the way, because that is kind of the point of this. Listen, we have these scrolling for the remainder of the show. And of course, if you guys send something over there, I will shout you guys out over there, as well as reading your message, because you can send a message over there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into the craziness. We got to do a quick shout out real quick already, by the way. We got allegedly coming in for the 5 months, by the way, saying, I love Lucy. I love Lucy too, man. That's why I named her that. Allegedly, thank you so much for your selfless support and help over to the show, man. And the way that you all of you guys that are here, man, like I can't thank you guys enough, for real. Even if you guys come by once a week, to me it means something to me. So I very much appreciate it. We got Wes up in here saying so many legends today to everyone that I missed. Absolutely. We do have a lot of legends up in here. We got brother Steve Easy, as well as Miss Lotus. Naomi's up in here, as well as Jess White. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. We got America Uncensored, AU up in the building. Brother Warland, as well as Jason. What's up, my man? We got Jay up in here. We got Gary as well, man. Good morning. And yeah, we got to hit that like button, yo. We got 28 people in here now. We got to make sure we get that like button up. We got to get them likes up. Discord is awesome. It has peck pictures and tunes, yo. Exactly. See, we made it conducive. We made it fun for everybody. You know what I mean? We made it fun. We got Steve Posey up in here. Good morning to you, kind sir, as well as brother Lee Lance over there in TN. Hopefully he's doing fantastic as well. Yes, make sure you guys hit that like Naomi says. Otherwise, she may become bitch on me and might fuck some people up in here. We got chairman of the board. What's up, Anson? Hopefully you're doing good as well, man. I did see Buchicon in here earlier, but I'm trying to get all the way through. We got Altered States of Chaos. Good morning, everyone. Finna switch to my PC BRB. Hey, Altered States of Chaos. Appreciate you for hanging out with us. We got Ron Ratty over there in Australia, man. Good to see you, man. Always appreciate you. We got Jesse as well, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. Carney's Ride. Stick around, by the way, because at the end of the show, Carney, we will be rating Carney over there on his YouTube channel. So stick around for that. And brother Dwayne, man, good to see you, as well as Buchcon. We got 13 Buchcon. All right, let's go ahead and get into the freaking madness. I'm trying to do what is say hi to everybody. That's what I think. That's good manners. Let's get the real news from Mike versus the media spin. Hey, Jay, I very much appreciate that, man. That is my number one. I'm very vigilant about that. I'm very transparent, especially with the way that I present news, man. And I very much appreciate you saying something like that, man. That's a humongous compliment. Screw Plan, man, good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning. We got Carney's Ride saying Lucy sleeping with diamonds. Yes. Not in the sky with diamonds, but sleeping with diamonds. Because I am the diamond. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't have that much of an ego. I don't have that much of an ego. We got What Up, Johnny Reno, as well as Greg. Man, thank you all for hanging out with us. We got a lot of you guys up in here. Thank you all so much. We got Dirty as well. Shit. All right, let's go ahead and get into the madness. And yes, I will be getting into some of that Lieutenant Tobacco like Carney suggests. We're going to do that here in a minute. We're going to do that. All right, let's go ahead and pull this up and let's go ahead and get this show on the road.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up.
We've got to start it off with some breaking news for you guys.
Up bright and early here with us on Live Now from Fox. It's Monday morning, March 24th. I'm Jeanne Francine, here with you for the next few hours to give you all of your breaking news alerts, top stories, and of course, your live events of the day. Bright and early on this Monday, we do begin our Live Now from Fox morning newscast with breaking news. It takes us out to the Middle East. I want to give you a live look out in Khan Yunis, Gaza.
All right, get ready for this because we had some shit go down last night.
This Monday morning, 2 minutes shy from the top of the 5 o'clock hour.
All right, Israel strikes southern Gaza's largest hospital
on the East Coast, as we are following breaking news.
What's up, Wildcard?
Content partners over at the
morning.
Associated Press. They report Israel's military hit the largest hospital in southern Gaza Sunday night.
That's cool, Lee.
Killing 2 people, wounding others, and causing a large...
Wait, it only killed 2 people? And, I mean, we're talking strikes, like airstrikes and shit. And there's only 2 people that died out of the largest hospital in Gaza? I mean, that's a blessing, right? Because I don't want people to die. I was expecting way more. I was expecting way more than that.
Fire. This information being reported to the Associated Press from the territory's health ministry.
That's right, Johnny.
We learned that the strike hit the surgical building of Nasser Hospital in the city of Khan Yunis. Again, the ministry confirming that. And you can see on your screen a live look at Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis.
And that's kind of the question I bear. Like, if you got airstriked, the building itself, dude, you're good luck surviving that shit. Good luck getting through that. So there must have been something, or maybe there was a small attack. I don't know the answer yet. We will find out though, because we do have, this is the breaking news, and then they follow up the breaking news here in a little bit about this situation, and then the Israeli government, David Mencer, is going to come out and speak on the latest airstrikes that have been happening. So on Gaza, he will be speaking on that today, and it's fairly short, but that's towards the end of the show.
Gaza, if you look closely, you can see the black ash on the side of the building. That's where that strike happened. It goes on to say this happened days after the facility was overwhelmed with dead and wounded when Israel resumed the war in Gaza last week with a surprise wave of airstrikes. Now, those killed in Sunday night.
Good morning, Tiffany, as well.
Strike included a 16-year-old boy
Brother
who
Frank
underwent surgery 2 days ago. Also killed was a member of Hamas's political bureau who was.
Oh, wow. No shit. One of the two guys was one of the political wings of this? No way.
Strikes. Now, those killed in Sunday night striking.
Sunday nights. Yeah. So last night, which is this.
Included a 16-year-old boy who underwent
a 16-year-old boy. Damn it.
Went surgery 2 days ago. Also killed was a member of Hamas's political bureau who was being treated.
I guarantee you that's who they were going for right there. And they just happened to get one other.
At the
Damn
hospital. Hamas confirming that in a statement. Israel's military confirming the strike on the hospital, saying it hit a Hamas militant operating there. Israel blames civilian deaths on Hamas because it operates in densely populated areas. We are keeping a close eye on this story here on Live Now from Fox. Again, giving you a live look at the hospital where that Israeli strike happened overnight. As we further discuss this breaking news, keep in mind we will have a live guest coming up in our 6 o'clock.
Yes, and we will be listening to that guest a little bit. Actually, no, are we skipping him? I can't remember if that's the first guest here. We're about to get into it here in a second. I'm actually going to go ahead and skip ahead here in a minute, because I think we're pretty much going to be going into this ordeal right here, which I really don't want to cover. It's going to be a long, drawn-out thing. Israeli's foreign minister and EU high representative joint news conference. So they're there in Jerusalem, Israel right now, having a joint conference. We're going to go ahead and allow them to go ahead and do whatever they want over there, because honest truth is I really don't give a fuck. Sorry, but I don't. United Nations Human Rights Council debate and discussion. Yeah, this is exactly what the UN loves to do. Like they're doing something over here. Fantastic job over there, ladies and gentlemen, for doing absolutely nothing, just being a biased organization and basically just taking a whole bunch of fucking money. All right, so we are going into our next breaking news story. Let's go ahead and get into it. Shit. What's up, Beezer, by the way? Good morning to you. It's playing. I don't know what's happening here. What is taking so long? Oh, they fucked up. I see what happened there.
3 on the East Coast. We are following.
Yeah, their whole like stream shut down there for a second. I don't know what happened.
Some breaking news as it relates to a former representative of Utah. Take a look at your screen as we're giving you a live look at the U.S. Capitol on this Monday.
Okay, former GOP representative Mia Love dead at 49 after battle with cancer. Man, that super sucks. Super early, 49 years old. That's way too fucking early. But May she rest in peace. That sucks.
A morning, learning from the Associated Press some tragic news that former U.S. Rep Mia Love of Utah.
You know, allegedly, I was looking for the damage on the hospital as well. Obviously, they didn't show that. I didn't see any of it. Otherwise, I would show it, right? But we will be going. There's going to be a little bit more breaking news on that segment, and I have no idea if they show more of the hospital or what. So we will see. We will find out what they determine what they want to show us, right?
A daughter of Haitian immigrants who became the first Black Republican woman elected to Congress. She did die Sunday. She was 49 years old. Love's family posting news of her death on Love's X account. We are working to get that here with you on Live Now from Fox. We also learned that she has undergone recent treatment for brain cancer and received.
Damn, she had brain cancer. That is fucking. Well, all cancer is terrible, but brain cancer? Damn it, man. By the way, we got Charles up in here. Good morning to you over there in Australia. I know for you down under, it's like 3:15 in the morning to you. So good morning to you, kind sir. Thanks for hanging out with us and enjoying.
Immunotherapy as part of a clinical trial at Duke University's Brain Tumor Center.
Damn, that's
her
crazy.
Said earlier this month,
left-handed tobacco time, everybody.
Was no longer responding to treatment. Love died at her home in Saratoga Springs, Utah, according to a statement posted by her family. We are getting that statement now. I'm going to transition your screen to give you a look.
Yeah, Johnny Reno. Hamas claimed that he was in there getting treated. I kind of seem to. I think it's bullshit. I don't think he was in there to be treated. I think he knew what was coming. That's what I think. And then he used the hospital as a great place to go ahead and say, hey, this is my safest place to go ahead and probably not get murked. Well, we saw how that worked out because he did get murked. We got Lappy up in here, by the way. Good morning to you. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. I'm sorry I'm a little behind on the chat here, everybody. I'm trying my best.
Take a look now.
Hit that like button,
you
everybody.
Can see that statement on X on this Monday. It says, quote, with grateful hearts filled to overflowing for the profound influence of Mia on our lives, we want you to know that she passed away peacefully today. She was in her home surrounded by family. In the midst of a celebration of her life and an avalanche of happy memories, Mia quietly slipped the bands of mortality and, as her words and vision always did, soared heavenward. We are thankful for the many good wishes, prayers, and condolences. We are taking some time as a family and will provide information about funeral services and a public celebration of her life in the days to come. So that coming from her family, they post that on her X page. Of course, this is a developing situation. And as you just heard, we are looking to get information about the funeral arrangements and other agenda items. We do know Love entered politics back in 2003 after winning a seat on the city council.
What's up, Brother Code? Good morning to you, kind sir. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. I know that you had a quick show this morning, but good to see you nonetheless.
Council in Saratoga Springs, a growing community about 30 miles south of Salt Lake City. She later became the city's mayor. We're going to go ahead and take our final 2-minute commercial break of the hour.
We are not doing your commercial break, lady. All right, we're going to go ahead and get a little update from this whole ordeal over there in Israel. And this guest right here, whether he's biased or not, which he is, absolutely, just being upfront, he comes with a deep array of knowledge with this kind of shit, and he seems to have this like super inside scoop, just like another one of our one of the guys that they bring up. There's one other, not the one from the Jewish News Syndicate, but I can't remember his name at the moment. But nonetheless, there's two guys that are really in tune with this shit. And this guy's pretty well versed and in tune with what's happening over there. He must have some sort of inside connection on both sides over there to be able to get a lot of this information. So let's go ahead and get the breaking news on it.
2 minutes shy from the top of the 6 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. Welcome back to Live
True,
Now from
Jesse.
Fox, and good morning to you if you're just now tuning in. As we embark on our 6 o'clock hour, we are following some breaking news. I want you to take a good look at your screen. This is the latest.
Yo, we got Mount High up in here. Good morning to you. And allegedly, by the way, remember when we said that where's the damage? Well, right now they're showing us some new footage that we haven't seen yet, right? So hopefully they show us a little bit of what's going on here. So let's go ahead and back it up just a little bit because they were hosing it down there. Like obviously it was probably on fire.
Hour. We are following some breaking news. I want you to take a good look at your screen. This is the latest video we've received from an overnight airstrike out in Communist Gaza. We're learning from the Associated Press, Israel's military hit the largest hospital in southern Gaza Sunday night, killing 2 people, wounding others, and causing a large fire. The territory's health ministry confirming this news to the Associated Press. The strike hit the surgical building of Nasser Hospital in the city of Khan Yunis.
Damn, they are in it for real. I'm surprised now that there were only two deaths, to be real, with this kind of destruction. And yeah,
days after the facility
how many people are there?
Overwhelmed with dead and wounded when Israel resumed the war in Gaza last week with a surprise wave of airstrikes.
That's right, Mount.
We are learning those killed in Sunday night strike included a 16-year-old boy who underwent surgery 2 days ago. Also killed was a member of Hamas's political bureau who was being treated at the hospital. Hamas confirming that information in a statement. A lot to discuss for this breaking news, so we want to bring into the conversation distinguished lecturer in Homeland and National Security, also a terrorism expert, Ken Gray. He is an expert with the University of New Haven. Ken, good morning. A lot to discuss on this breaking news. Thank you so much for being here.
That's true, Buchikon. Very blessed. He's muted.
There's a lot going on once again throughout the Gaza Strip.
Absolutely. So let's first talk about the back and forth. Obviously, the ceasefire broken at this time between Hamas and Israel. We are looking at this Sunday night strike overnight into U.S. Early morning Monday hours. So many questions, but let's just start with the facts. What do we know at this time as relates to the strike? Why is Israel and Israeli Defense Forces saying they chose to do this to a hospital?
So the Nasser Hospital has been a center of activity for Hamas throughout this conflict there in the Gaza Strip. And so the IDF returned to that area and they assassinated the alternate.
That's right, Brother Frank. You know the deal. And by the way, good morning to Altered State of Chaos, just in case he didn't hear me in the beginning when I saw him. But good to see you, by the way.
Hamas Prime Minister in this raid. So once again, the hospital is being used for things other than being a hospital. But the IDF and airstrikes have also taken out a number of other Hamas leadership positions. To include the airstrike killed the political leader.
Oh, your Hand of Chaos. All right, that makes sense. Just rebranding your channel for a bit, upcoming content. Hell yeah, good. That's what's up.
Al-Bardawil in Khan Yunis. Also, the deputy commander of the Gaza Brigade and the commander of Hamas's Sajaya battalion was also killed with IDF activity. And so the IDF and the airstrikes are being relatively surgical. They are targeting high leadership.
You're right. And that's evident by only 2 people being killed, in this whole ordeal. And one of them being the top political wing for Hamas. Well, it was targeted.
Positions in.
It's not like, the truth is I know it looks bad to the outside world, right? It looks terrible that, they're freaking airstriking, hospitals. And listen, it's going to be used politically by Hamas, of course, it being happening there, because Hamas knows if we use these people as meat shields, if they do attack us, we still look good. And that's exactly what happened there, unfortunately.
Hamas trying to force Hamas to comply with the direction to release all the remaining hostages.
Ken, thank you so much for that detailed breakdown. A lot of unanswered questions this morning. And I think one thing a lot of the viewers are looking at is that this safe haven,
Hell yeah,
hospital,
Jesse.
one of the largest in the southern
Drive safe.
area of Gaza, was housing a Hamas terrorist, and that terrorist was receiving treatment. When we look at the feeds, we see how this area is always busy, people needing treatment for malnourishment.
Shit, I got you, homie, by the way, Steve.
Stop the cap.
I just had to, I had to give it to you. I had to give you the soundbite.
Other things like that. Do you think this further
up,
shows how, from the very beginning, Israel was saying that they are concerned about UNRWA, other organizations that are supposed to be aiding the people, actually housing these Hamas militants and helping them?
Not only that,
and make sure you guys hit that Discord link. By the way, we're super active over there. All of us in the Breakfast Club are pretty much getting on board with it, and I've become very active in it again. By the way, I kind of abandoned it completely in 2019, my server, and now we've done a rebranding of it, and I'm on it all the time now, hanging out with you guys. So make sure you guys join that. All right, back to this.
But also the
hit
fact
that like
that
button
the
too,
hospital,
please.
Which is a center
Please.
of the civic activity, a place where people are brought to when they are injured or sick, and instead Hamas has been using that as a shield.
Yeah, a la snack bar. What's up? Trigger warning. Good to see you, my man. Good morning.
Trying to use it to keep the idea.
And he just used that word, by the way, meat shield. He used that nomenclature too.
A shield.
Yep.
Trying to use it to keep the IDF and to try to keep airstrikes from hitting at their location. You'll recall that there was a search through Nasser Hospital, not only for Hamas members back 8 months ago, but also looking for tunnel entrances with the belief that Hamas may have actual centers for their communications and centers for their direction, their actual headquarters located underneath Nasser Hospital. They did a search throughout the hospital and routed out a number of Hamas members there. They did find indication of some weapons inside Nasser Hospital, but I don't think they found what they thought they were going to find. That is a entrance into a command center. That did not occur. But nonetheless, Nasser Hospital is once again being used by Hamas in addition to treating the sick and wounded.
Man, and by the way, just to answer Hand of Chaos or Altered State of Chaos states, I'm trying to help them with the rebrand there. By the way, the weather here has been phenomenal. Yesterday it was 73 degrees. Today it's supposed to be the same. It's phenomenal today, and yesterday. It's all blue skies here. Last night, all last night, it was raining and lightning, thunder. It was loud as fuck too. But now it's great. Yeah, it's cleared up.
Ken, I found the latest.
Thanks for asking,
Israel
homie.
Defense Forces on this Monday morning via X. They say, quote, a key Hamas terrorist who was operating from within the Nasser Hospital compound in Gaza was precisely struck. The strike was conducted following an extensive intelligence gathering process and with precise munitions in order to mitigate harm to the surrounding environment as much as possible. They conclude their statement by saying, Hamas exploits civilian infrastructure while brutally endangering the Gazan population, cynically using an active hospital as a shelter for planning and executing murderous terrorist attacks in a direct violation of international.
What's up, Brother Slim? Good morning to you, kind sir.
Again, Ken, that's the latest from Israel Defense Forces. People feeling this morning at one point, Hamas was kind of secretive about being in plain sight. They would use that tunnel network you shared with us from the beginning of this conflict. But now just to be in the midst of civilian life in the hospital receiving treatment. Concerns this morning from the innocent.
Brother Papa Penguin, good to see you, my man. Just in case you missed it, last night there was a airstrike done by the IDF, and they hit the largest hospital in Gaza and got 2 people. One of them was an innocent bystander, as far as we know. And the other one, unfortunately, that case with that one person is an unfortunate event. I totally believe so. This was like a targeted ordeal. And so they got I forget his name. I don't know his name, but like I've known the graph where there's like the different wings, but I can't remember all their different Middle Eastern names. But nonetheless, they got the top political wing dude on that side. So on Hamas's side,
Palestinian people who have lost loved ones because of Hamas. Where do they go from here?
Yeah.
W.
Throughout this conflict, Hamas has been using the Palestinian people as a shield. They actively
as a human meat shield. Yep.
move around to try to hide within the non-Hamas Palestinian camps. They are trying to use that to stop the IDF from hitting where they are at, because in the process they will cause civilian casualties. But they've effectively used the Palestinian people as a shield against activities by from both the air and by ground forces there in the Gaza Strip.
So we can't do a Cash App for the party in July. We can't do a Cash App because it's tied to a social security number. But we can absolutely do a GoFundMe. We can absolutely do a GoFundMe. And I've used GoFundMe before, by the way, and it's a fantastic. People talk shit on GoFundMe. GoFundMe is a fantastic website or way to be able to fund your whatever you're doing. Yeah, I think we should create a GoFundMe, and then we can kind of pitch into that and, have a great ass party. All right, back to this.
Hamas has not.
What's up, Kel? Up there in Canada.
This is an asymmetrical war, and in asymmetrical war, you have to use all advantages you can. And so Hamas is using the Palestinian people as a tool, a weapon against the IDF.
Questions this morning, Ken, surrounding what does this mean for a potential ceasefire?
By the way, real quick, before she gets into potential ceasefire here, one little thing I do got to say is Naomi has been working her ass off on making some amazing emotes for all of you guys. Just so you guys know, it's going to be not only the emotes that you see that are in the Discord, because they're going to be uploaded on the Discord server too. We have them over there too. But they're going to be also uploaded here on YouTube, the YouTube side. We're almost fairly there, where I can actually set up like a good 10 of them for you. You know what I mean? For everybody. I'm not going to just give you guys one at a time kind of ordeal. I'm waiting for them to all be done. And then you guys in the Breakfast Club can have them. All right, back to this.
In the coming days or months. What does this mean about the remaining hostages still in Hamas captivity? We've seen those protests across Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, Israel, this time last week.
She totally revived the whole Discord server with me. You know what I mean? And she's solely the reason why that shit got off the ground. Totally.
People protesting right outside of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's home, demanding that the Israeli government do more to get that ceasefire so the remaining hostages can come home.
Yeah. So there are two factions there in Israel. There is a faction that wants to make whatever concessions they can to Hamas to get the remaining hostages out of the Gaza Strip. And then there are those who agree with Netanyahu and wants to, the priority being to rid the area of Hamas. The first phase of the agreement is over. We were supposed to see negotiations in the second phase to continue getting out both bodies and live hostages out, and further agreements about changes to the Gaza Strip, the IDF's position in the Gaza Strip. But the fact that Hamas has not released the hostages, the fact that an ultimatum was placed in, a line was drawn by President Trump telling Netanyahu that...
Yep, you just summed it up right there. Exactly. Ding, 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 Papa.
That they should do whatever is necessary if they do not release.
And yes, that too. Saying business as usual.
Remaining hostages.
It's true.
Within
it's
2
terrible.
weeks. That 2 weeks has passed.
They played terrible.
Israel has once again resumed military operations there in the Gaza Strip. Now, the thing is that a lot of the IDF forces, which are not full-time soldiers, They had been
Joe Joseph up there in Canada, my man. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. Shit.
Activated for this fight. Many of them have gone back to their jobs. And so the IDF is down as far as manpower goes. But they may have to recall those members back to active duty once again if they are going to restart the conflict all across the Gaza Strip.
And for those families of Hamas hostages that have been holding on to hope since the very beginning of this conflict, for some of them that hope is waning, understandably so, as the conflict doesn't seem far from over. And as I say that, we are getting literally another breaking news alert into our live now from Fox Studio, sharing this with you.
Damn, I had the exact opposite issue. They were great to me because I had a GoFundMe made for me when I went down on my motorcycle when I lost my leg by that idiot drunk driver. So when that happened, they created a GoFundMe, and that was fantastic. You know, it really did come in at a perfect time. Obviously, it was one of my lowest points ever, you know, and so everything that was donated, besides like 3%, the 3% cut they get or whatever, I got it all, you know, and so I couldn't thank that time frame and that website enough from my side, you know, because I personally felt the benefit of it, you know.
And the viewers, as I'm getting this in, we're learning this is a live look.
Just being upfront and honest.
Israeli police and paramedics at the scene of where a ramming and shooting attack just took place. You're seeing those officials there along with a vehicle. Looks like it's being inspected. Ken, no word if this is in response or retaliation to that.
Hey, you, I promise you I'm never bringing you to something that isn't worthy. You know what I mean? Some people are going to just tell you, go do this shit because whatever, probably because they're getting paid. No, like if I'm telling you guys, this is what's up, I promise you it's what's up.
A hospital attack that just happened, but we've seen this plenty of times throughout this conflict, terroristic acts. We saw a bus that exploded out in the city center. Now learning of this. Is this pretty?
It's a good way to continue the conversation, Johnny. You know what I mean? Like after the show, everyone's in there. We're all in there. Like majority of us in the chat are in there. So you guys can continue on the conversation with each other. You guys, once you're in the same server together, then you guys can be friends and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a fantastic way to keep in touch personally.
Much the back and forth we will continue to see until world leaders step up to provide some type of resolution.
So we have seen this type of attack over the years continuously throughout the conflict and before, is that vehicles can be turned into weapons. You can either have a vehicle, you can steal a vehicle, you can commandeer a vehicle.
Hell yeah, Wes. That's my man right there. Appreciate you doing that, kind sir. I promise you, if Steve's on there, you know it's automatically all right. Like, it's good. You know what I mean? We got Frederick Frame up in here as well. Good to see you, by the way. Good morning to you, kind sir.
And drive it into a crowded area. You had mentioned buses. Hamas had attempted an attack. They had placed bombs on 5 different buses and had those something happened with the timer.
She's sleeping.
To where instead of blowing up out in the public with people on board the buses, instead the buses burned without any Israelis on board those buses. So that was an averted terrorist attack that would have been very, very consequential had it occurred, buses full of people. But we have seen this type of attack, of ramming attack, over the years.
Yo, Tats over there in the UK. Good to see you across the pond.
So
good afternoon.
It just shows that terrorism continues on. Even when you have IDF active in the Gaza Strip, this kind of attack continues to happen.
Yeah, you raise a great point. You know, terrorism will continue to happen. They are in place to try to prevent and respond to these terroristic acts. But I know you always say no one has a crystal ball when they can.
That's right. That's right, Beezer. That single ply is a sin, by the way. It's a good way to fucking finger yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's never a good time. Never a good time. Unexpected fingering is terrible, right?
Predict when these things will happen, but it's important that they remain vigilant because they know it can and will happen. So there needs to be that heightened security alert, as you've mentioned, to keep people safe.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that the Israeli intelligence service, Shin Bet, often is able to have information that will stop some of these attacks from occurring. And Shin Bet also was part of the surgical attacks within the Gaza Strip here yesterday, identifying where those commanders were, the deputy commander and the commander of different battalions. That type of intelligence is very useful for identifying individuals.
Yes, I have to say, even if it's your own, homie. Shit.
That are about to carry out attacks, or in the case of in the Gaza Strip, where the political leadership was or the military leadership was, so as to get the most bang for the buck by IDF.
Ken Gray, always a pleasure to have you join us on the show. We were discussing one break.
No, and that's good. We got the story there. They continue on with this Israeli foreign minister and and EU high representative joint news conference, which honestly I really don't give a fuck about. Just don't care. All right, so we already know about what's going on with Mia over there. So now we're actually going to move over into Ukrainian defense minister, quote, secure lasting peace. Let's go ahead and figure out what this breaking news is about. Oh, we have a few things going on here leading into this breaking news story. Okay, so today, U.S. and Russia, excuse me, are to meet for Ukraine ceasefire talks. All right, let's go ahead and get into the madness here, right?
Back to live now from Fox. Good morning to you if you're just now tuning in. 1 minute shy from the top of the
Brother
7 o'clock
GEG.
hour here on the East Coast. I'm Jeanne Francine. We're following some breaking news. I want you to take a good look at your screen. As we know, today, U.S. and Russian delegations are set to hold talks in Saudi Arabia to discuss a partial ceasefire in Ukraine. A lot to discuss and dissect. So we want to check in with the expert, former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Bill Taylor. Bill, good morning to you. A pleasure to have you join us bright and early here on Live Now from Fox.
Okay, so obviously this is the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. So I'm interested in what he's got to say about this.
Jeanne, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, Bill, we know there's been a lot of back and forth as it relates to ceasefire discussions. We've even seen both presidents, both of Russia, also of Ukraine, speak with President Donald Trump right here in the U.S. Set the stage for us. What can we expect today with these peace talks?
So today, this is the second round, as you've indicated. And today, the American delegation is talking to the Russian delegation. Yesterday, the American delegation talked to the Ukrainian delegation, and they had very good conversations about getting ready for today. These are not the high-level talks today that have happened.
Hell yeah, by the way. Just got to say that. Wildcard, you're going to enjoy the time. It's a great place for all of us to hang out.
In the past, they're not the ministers, with the exception of the Ukrainian side. The Ukrainian side did send a minister, their Minister of Defense, Mr. Umerov, who was there to demonstrate how important these talks are to the Ukrainians. On the Russian side, it's a lower level delegation, and they are prepared to talk about technical things. What's on the issue, on the agenda for today are ceasefires, at least with regard to energy infrastructure. The Ukrainians and the Americans today had hoped that they would be able to broaden from energy infrastructure to the sea, to the Black Sea, or even to the air, and eventually to land. Mr. Putin, of course, did not go along with that request from President Trump. President Trump and President Zelensky had agreed, but President Putin didn't. So now we're talking about technical conversations with the Russians today, following the discussions yesterday with the Ukrainians.
Bill, so many great points you raise, and as you discuss the latest with a potential ceasefire discussion, a lot of people are wanting to know what's the reality that can actually happen, because we know the drone strikes still continue as we're discussing energy and infrastructure. With the back and forth happening, it doesn't seem like the war is waning down. So what's the likelihood that a ceasefire could happen?
Jenny, you're exactly right. It's the right question. Many people who've looked at ceasefires tell us that until the details of a ceasefire are agreed, and they're not yet, what we have is a general commitment on the part of all three, the Americans and the Ukrainians and the Russians.
Which is, okay, so just so everyone knows, we have an agreement between the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine. This has been a thing for a long fucking time. It's been a thing. I can't remember the exact year that happened, but it's been a thing for a long time where America, United States, Russia, and Ukraine have a kind of a treaty. But anyways, so what they're gonna get into is, of course, the United States is involved in these negotiations as well as signing off on certain things, right?
General commitment to a ceasefire against energy infrastructure. They're hoping it's further, but there's not been any agreement on what is energy infrastructure. It's not an agreement on when it goes into effect, how it will be monitored, who will identify violations, what happens if there are violations. These presumably are the issues that will be discussed here today.
Bill, you being a former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, talk about, I guess, if we're being candid, the stress, but
yeah,
also,
no kidding, by the way. Lone Cowboy, good to see you, by the way. Good morning to you, kind sir.
So the pressure that type of role entails. And I say that because a lot of world leaders look to the U.S. to kind of be that shining and guide.
Kitty, you think that I would wait for somebody else to get off a live stream so I can go live? Hell no, that's a fallacy, woman. No, I go live the same time every single day. Everyone else can do their own thing. I really don't care. For me, I go live at 10 a.m. CST every day. Well, aside from Sunday. But I go live 10 a.m. no matter what. My time, CST. But yeah, I don't wait for nobody. Nobody. We don't wait for nobody around these parts. We wait until 10. That's what we're waiting on.
Guiding light when it comes
Good
to
see you,
these
by the way.
ceasefire and peace discussions. A lot of pressure on the U.S. as these talks are underway, but also on U.S. President Donald Trump. We know that he seems to have a great relationship with
Make booger sugar great again. Shit.
Russian President Vladimir Putin, but also world leaders are fighting to make sure Ukraine comes out on top. For some people, they're saying, okay, that might be a conflict of interest for the U.S. Where do you stand? Could you break that down, please?
Thank you, Jay. Yes. So President Trump has taken a much more aggressive posture, a more aggressive role in.
No, Lone Cowboy, you never got to apologize, ever. You know what I mean? Listen, if I'm just honored when you guys do come in, even if you come in once a week, there's no obligation here for anybody. You know, and so I look at it as if there's no obligation, there's no like, I'm not expecting anything. So when I do see you guys, it's just, to me, it's a bonus. You know, it's a great thing when I see you. So I'm never like, oh, he wasn't here when I started. You know what I mean? I don't do none of that shit, dude. You know? But anyways, good morning to you, kind sir.
And trying to bring this war,
as well as Christopher,
to a stop.
Good to see you.
To an end. The Biden administration did a lot to provide weapons, but they didn't get involved in negotiations. President Trump, building on, as you say, building on a relationship that he has with the Russians, with Mr. Putin, and his ability to have good conversations with President Zelensky, President Trump has gotten directly involved. His staff, his team has been there in conversations, both with the Ukrainians and the Russians. So he's taken a strong position. He has the ability today. I really believe that he has the ability to put pressure on certainly President Putin because of that relationship that you mentioned, to come to the table and to agree to stop the war. President Putin, before the conversations with President Trump, had not been willing to come to the table, and he's still reluctant.
Well, we try our best over here at Lone Cowboy to make it as, fun / enjoy, we try to make the enjoy level go up a little bit with these type of things. Because the truth is, a lot of this shit is dry. A lot of this shit is, it is depressing. Usually just bad news overall. So it's kind of cool to have, someone to be able to make it a little bit more not so that, right? We try to have a good time over here, right? Hit that like button, everybody.
Even if President Trump has asked him to have to engage and commit to a broader ceasefire, President Putin has not.
All love, Brother Carney.
Ceasefire, even though President Trump asked him to. So President Trump has the ability, the opportunity to bring President Putin farther along towards an agreement, toward a ceasefire that can eventually end this war.
Well, Bill, we know right now those negotiations are underway, potentially heated talks or maybe peaceful talks. We don't really know. Cameras aren't allowed inside, as you can imagine. Top secret information is shared. But the question many viewers have now is, okay, after these discussions happen, after the debate, then what?
Damn, Papa Penguin. They go into AI mode where they're controlled by AI. Holy shit, they're not even human controlled anymore. So once they get out of a certain reach, now all of a sudden AI just takes over. That's so fucking crazy.
So after these discussions, these are, as I say, these are not senior level conversations, but they are going to hammer out some very important parameters of a ceasefire, beginning with energy infrastructure. And they want to go to a ceasefire that applies to the Black Sea, so that neither side would attack the ships in the Black Sea. And that's a very important point. That will allow Ukraine in particular to use that ability to move ships into the Black Sea and through the Black Sea to export and allow their economy to go forward. So these are technical conversations that will continue to go forward, and then they will broaden it to other parts of the ceasefire, eventually getting to the land, eventually getting to stopping the war on the land, and eventually getting to an overall settlement down the line. That's probably going to take some time to get to an overall settlement, but those will be the difficult ones that will finally end this war.
Yikes. This freaking
Bill
dude.
Taylor, a pleasure having you join us bright and early here on Live Now.
Well, I mean, it's nice to have the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine come up. I mean, that is pretty dope.
Really appreciate your
even though he's dry as fuck, but whatever.
Candidness and expertise on this topic. Thank you so much. A pleasure to meet you for this interview. Have a great and safe rest of your day.
Thank you, Janae. It's great to be here. See you later.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Jeanne Francine. We're going to go ahead and take our first 2-minute commercial break of the hour.
No, we're not, lady. No, we're not. We're not doing that. I don't know why you keep saying we're going to be doing some commercial breaks, because we ain't doing that. And Brother Straight Jacket, good to see you, my man. Good morning to you, kind sir, as well. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. We are getting up into the next story here, and I believe it's going to be David Menser, I believe, is what we're going to be pretty much ending this off with, and it's not a very long ordeal. I'm just skipping ahead here. Okay, there he is. Yep, that was the next breaking.
Taking a live look once again out of Jerusalem and Israel, as we are waiting momentarily for the Israeli government to provide a briefing amid the latest strikes that have occurred in Gaza over the last several hours. We know that several Palestinians have been killed, and overnight on
Be safe out there, Tats, as always.
Sunday, we also learned that Israel had deployed an airstrike on southern Gaza's largest hospital. We do have a live picture from that scene at the moment. On this,
why does that lady, whoever's speaking, I've never heard that voice before. It sounds like AI.
Day. As we wait for that to get underway, we are seeing that another.
So they did a direct hit right here in the middle. This is what they were attacking. This was the exact spot that they were. I mean, that's the room of the political wing of Hamas was hiding in.
Live event does seem to be getting started. It is the United Nations Security Council once again holding a briefing and a discussion regarding some of these international peacekeeping efforts. Let's take a look.
No, we're not going there.
Responsibility.
That.
Just
Excuse me. Here we go, live.
just north of the lower Galilee city of Yokneam, the terrorist murderer rammed his car into an Israeli soldier at a bus stop, then stabbed him, stole his weapon, and opened fire on...
Real quick, before David Mentor gets into this, it's fairly short, by the way, just giving you guys a little heads up. Carney, that is right, man. Oh, the humongous fucking W for the Breakfast Club. We got 51 likes and we got 39 watching in here. You guys are the freaking best, dude. Big W's up in here, man.
Innocent civilians. An 85-year-old Israeli man was murdered in his car. Another victim remains in critical condition. The terrorists fired indiscriminately at passing vehicles, attempting to maximize the carnage. Thanks to the rapid and heroic response of Israeli border police officers, the terrorist was neutralized before he could take any more lives. This was a truly remarkable act of heroism by our police officer, acting swiftly and stopping the killing. I can tell you that Israel is on high alert during Ramadan as Hamas...
Yeah, and they did that, Papa. They had a diagram of how they showed where they attacked and specifically what room. And they showed the building, drawn out and all of that. I believe the IDF put that out on X. I believe so. Anyways, back to this.
And Iran continue to incite and orchestrate terror against our people. This wave of bloodshed will not break us. Our security forces are deployed across the country to protect every citizen, irrespective.
Much
Israel will
love,
not
Rob. Rob's
top-
neighbor, by the way. Good to have you. Thank you for stopping by over here, by the way. That's a humongous, compliment. And stick around because we're going to be rating Carney right back once we're done with this. As soon as David Mentor's done with this, we're going to wrap it up and send everyone over to Carney. So very much appreciate you.
Tolerate terror.
Good morning.
We will fight it and we will defeat it. Every attack on Israel proves why Israel must be stronger. Next to Gaza, I can confirm that Israel has eliminated Ismail Barhum, Hamas's head.
That's the guy right there. Unless they're talking about the head dude, they did that like 4 days ago or whatever, 5 days ago. But if they're talking last night, the political dude, we'll see.
Of finances and institutions.
Oh, finance and institutions. Okay, so this was another guy.
Of course, he was successor to Issam al-Dalis, the former head of Hamas's government, who was killed just last week.
Right. Okay, I thought it was about 5 days ago. Yep.
Barhum funded Hamas's terror operations, arming terrorists and orchestrating attacks on our people. He was struck while hiding in Nasser Hospital, once again exposing Hamas's use of human shields. The BBC reported that
That's what they do. That's been their move. To their own people, they have done that since conception of Hamas.
Was receiving treatment there. Israel is escalating military operations in Gaza. Why? To eliminate Hamas's leadership, dismantle terror infrastructure, and secure the return of 50 hostages. 59 hostages remain in Gaza. Hamas has repeatedly rejected all negotiation efforts, including those by U.S. Envoy Witkoff. Israel will continue to act with increasing military strength. Our ground forces are operating throughout the Strip to eliminate terrorists and terror infrastructure, to expand the security zone and create a partial buffer between the north and the south of the Strip. Decisively, Israel is destroying Hamas's capabilities and protecting our people.
What's up, Brother Bob, by the way, up there in Canada? Good morning to you.
And lastly, on Syria, let me just say this, particularly in the south of Syria, Israel will not accept the presence of munitions that could pose a threat to our people or to IDF activity. Any attempts by the regime's forces and terrorist organizations and anyone else to establish themselves in the region will be thwarted. The events of the last 18 months have led to Israel adopting a different strategy of conflict and risk management. I can sum up our strategy quite clearly. It is proactive, it is preemptive, and it is preventative on all fronts and at all times. That's the end of our briefing here today. I will now take some of your questions.
No,
Please.
we don't need questions. That was perfect. That was a perfect way for him to wrap that up. And exactly at the 1 hour mark, exactly, by the way, we can't consolidate this even fucking better, dude. We do. Listen, I'm going to do a little one of these, a little pat on the back here. You know, we did it exactly in 1 hour. That's what I'm talking about right there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys hit the like button. You guys don't have to hit the like button because you guys like what's happening in the world, but you guys can like my takes and my consolidation. 2 enthusiastic thumbs up on that, by the way. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, stick around because we're going to be rating our buddy Carney's Ride. He's live right now. Make sure to stick around and hit the subscribe button over there as well and hit the like button over there as well. And also, I can't thank everybody enough for just being here, but for everyone that, sends in, donations, monies of some sort, I can't thank you guys enough too, because we can't do this without you guys, So I'm very, very appreciative. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, until tomorrow morning, we will be back for more of the World's Madness at 10 a.m. CST as always, which is 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, be safe out there. Always appreciate you, and God bless. See you guys very soon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, he rides on to his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned.